Hello there, and welcome to Stuff They Don't Want You to Know Sunday here on Rage Network. And it's Sunday, and I'm going to tell you stuff they don't want you to know. Or they don't really care if you know because you've been conditioned to believe it is irrational and stupid. That actually leads us into a very important topic that I'm going to talk about today, which is ideological control and subversion through the media so they can push whatever the hell they want on you, so the deep state and the one world government can get what they want, right? Because I was reading a lot about this today, and it's pretty interesting what they've been doing, right? So when you look at all your media and all that, right, you can see certain patterns in what's in movies and TV and all that, right? And the three, some fell out my pocket, hang on. Oh, it was packed up. Nice. So, the main ones are feminism, homosexuality, and what was the third one? Like some Civil War stuff. Right. And these things are put in place for these reasons. The reasons are, well, one, they want access to your children, right? And they want to depopulate the world, they want to divide us, and then they want to conquer us, okay? First we start with feminism, right? Now feminism is a disturbing ideology that's pushed exclusively in the West, right? And its aims are to fracture the family. Oh, sorry, this balaclava's fucking itchy. Right, to fracture the fucking family, so that then women and men are both working, so then the state has access to your children. Okay, because you can't homeschool them. You don't have the time because both parents are too busy working to look for your kids' homework and see what the score is with that, see what they're getting taught, to actually hear from your kid as to what their teachers are telling them, right? And at school, it's just indoctrination centres, right? Indoctrination into leftist ideology, an ideology that promotes dependence on the government, doesn't promote being self-sufficient. Kids at school are not getting taught how to manage their money, okay? So that way they're debt slaves for life, and the globalists can control them with that. They're not getting taught how to live off the land and farm, okay? So they're always reliant on the government, on the grid, on the system for food and water, okay? They're not getting, not getting taught how to live life as adults. They're not getting taught how to deal with your emotions and manage criticism. All they're getting told is fucking obey the government, and obey the fucking government. That's all they're getting told. They're getting told that Big Daddy government's going to look out for you for your whole life. That I'm going to protect you from the mean words and ever having to do anything with your fucking life, right? And certain people respond better to this than others. So you remember, think back to school, you remember the goody two shoes that was always doing so well and everything, had 5 A's and all the hires and all that pish, right? That is the person the government wants. Okay, somebody who's just going to be subservient, do what's told, jump through the hoops like a fucking clapping seal. Okay, and look what was penalised at school. The people who were independent, the people who liked to adventure, the people that saw past the programming and the conditioning and saw how much of a waste of time it was. Because all school is repetition. Repeat the same shit over and over again, and eventually you believe it, no matter how true or how false it is. Okay, now this all ties back, because the feminist ideology keeps mothers out of the home, away from the kids. So they're not teaching them, and the dad's already at work, because that's what men have been conditioned to do for ages, because that's what men are naturally supposed to do, right? So if both parents out the way, all what I just explained is happening to the children. And that's the ideological subversion part. And you've also got the depopulation part, which promotes, this ties into the homosexual stuff as well. Okay, then I'll explain the homosexual stuff in a minute. Right? Because, well, see, Feminism promotes already have kids. Oh, fuck the kids. Put them at daycare. Send them to school. Let somebody else look after them, or you go out and work. Or not married, don't have kids. Good, don't bother. That's what feminism fucking says. It says kids are bad and getting married is bad and promotes patriarchy like this. All that's part of the depopulation agenda. The less people that are having kids, the less population there's going to be. And smaller populations are easier to control. The more disparate they are, the more fractured they are, the more divided they are, the easier that's so stupid. The easier they are to control. And this is kind of focusing weird. I don't even know. Right. Or maybe it's just my screen's kind of broken on my phone. So yeah, you can donate money for the new Rage Network phone fund down below. Actually, you can't because I'm not telling you my bank details. So that'll be right. Now the same goes to the. Oh, fuck, this thing is itchy, right? Bloody government making you hide your face, right? For the homosexual agenda, right? Because you see homosexuals everywhere. Not in real life, obviously, but on TV and stuff. Every single show and movie you watch has got homosexual characters, and they're always portrayed as the funniest or the most intelligent and like the best at stuff, right? They're always portrayed as superior to your average straight man, especially straight white man, right? Because race plays a lot into this as well, right? And the aim of that is to convert more people into the homosexual lifestyle. So then again, less population, and homosexuals by nature are more hedonistic, and are more nihilistic, and have a much less degree of my starts playing up. A less degree of belief in a god, right? And all of these things allow the government to take the place of God. Okay? Now, but what the government preaches isn't family and modesty. What the government preaches is hedonism and consumerism. Okay? That's what the government preaches, because if you get people into a state like that, they'll be able to increase their debt, which is the first thing I said, so then they'll be more likely to be slaves, because if the people are in debt and they're addicted, the government will feed that addiction, the addiction to hedonism, the addiction to drugs and cigarettes and alcohol and all these destructive forces that the government pushes on us time and time again. Tell us, okay, and that all starts through the media, okay, because the media promotes all manner of degeneracy, including homosexuality, okay? Another thing is civil wars. They want us to break into civil war. They're deliberately trying to divide us. Okay, the left loves to say, oh, people on the right are trying to divide us. That's not the case at all. That's fucking stupid. People on the right want shit to go back to the way it was. Okay, before all this crap. Before they divided us by introducing foreign elements into the culture, before it's subverting the mainstream culture. Okay, 100 years ago, well, at least here in Britain, actually the whole fucking world, actually, yeah. There wasn't really any places that were fucked up. It was just the whole world. Actually, no, give it 120 years ago, because by 1919, we had like Weimar Germany and all that was just a degenerate shithole. So, like in the year 1900, right? There wasn't none of this degenerate crap, right? There was like shit like prohibition, no booze, which is the best fucking idea ever. Fuck alcohol, right? There was no homosexuality, because that wasn't even a thing. That wasn't even in the national consciousness. Most people wouldn't know what that meant back in the day. And anybody that did participate in filth like that was fucking castrated and institutionalized, right? We're all homogenous societies. Okay, marriage was forever. You got married, that was it. No divorce, no single parents, and if there was single, there were very, very few of them, and they were immensely frowned upon, because it meant you had to do something immoral. Like, the only really single parents were people who were, like birds who were widowed. That would be about it, right? But now, right, liberals call where we've come between here and there, there and now, I mean, they call that progress. They say we've progressed as a society. How the fuck can they say a society has progressed when it's got worse? When they've abandoned their God, when they've abandoned their traditions, and when they've abandoned, well, everything that was meaningful in favour of consumerism and other shit. degeneracy, hedonism, nihilism. Right, that's all. To the media's the main ones that push this. Now I've gone back, I've kind of rambled a bit there, right? But civil wars, they're idea like Marvel Civil War and all that shit. That's the main one I can think of. They want us to fight each other, right? Because if we fight each other and we kill each other, they can control whoever the hell wins. Because whoever wins is going to be weak and defeated. And no matter how independent they may say they are during the fighting, they are going to give up immediately the second they're presented with luxuries again. If everything could, after a brutal fucking war, everyone's going to want to go back to even the degenerate shithole because it's be better than like a manky, destroyed battlefield. Right? So regardless of who wins, unless like they're really, really ideologically driven to be traditionalist, right, unless they're insane, right, which is unlikely to happen because a lot of people have been conditioned not to think like that, so it's really difficult to get people to think like that now because they've been conditioned by the media for so long to reject that kind of stuff, right? So regardless of who wins this hypothetical civil war they're trying to start, they still get to control whoever wins, right, and they get to keep their wealth, they get to keep, well, their control over the populace, they get to have their slave population who's subservient to their whims and who they can leech negative energy off of. Okay, so there isn't really a message, it's just I'm telling you to think about that. Adopt traditionalism, reject feminism, reject homosexuality, and reject control by the media. Don't listen to them, don't let them win. That's all.